Hey, good afternoon. Well, we got through Christmas. I hope you got through it safely and maybe even got a new guitar. If you did, go back to lesson 1, lesson 2, and 3. Today I'm going to do lesson 4, and it got interrupted. Lesson 3 got interrupted the last time. We were going through, and at 15 minutes it stopped. And I'm going to pick up where it left off. I had said that I was going to show you something that Chuck Berry, as far as I'm concerned, he innovated it. Probably others did it before him, but to me, he's the guy that brought it to us. It's used in rock and roll, country music, way back from the 50s up until right now. If you learn it, you'll be able to use it in a lot of places. And it's part of the A routine that I've been teaching you. The A chord, the D chord, and the E chord. And the way we get it, we go to the 4th string with the 1st finger. Remember 1, 2, 3, 4. And we go on the 2nd fret. And we've got the 2nd fret on the 4th string and the 5th string open. Okay? Now what we're going to do, we're going to come up to the 4th fret on the 4th string. And we're going to cover it with the 3rd finger, like this. And we're going to rock it back and forth. Okay? We're going to go... That's a form of rhythm that Chuck Berry used. Now, if you move the 1st finger up or down to 1 fret, to the G string on the 2nd fret, and we'll rock back and forth just the same way. And then back to A, that's D, back to A. Now we're going to go down to E, which means we're going to come to the 2nd fret on the 5th string, and we're going to rock back and forth to the 4th fret. Hey Johnny, be good. Go Johnny, go. See what you can do? Now, if you got a friend, they're playing rhythm guitar along with you, you know, they can be playing this A that I taught you, the D I taught you, E I taught you, and you're going to be going. If it's easier for you to go up to the 4th fret, use your little finger or your 4th finger. That's just all part of the A pattern. If you're playing in the key of A, you're using the A, the D, and the G that we learned. And that's a little bit of Johnny Be Good. And you can use that in so many places, okay? Now I wanted to show you, last time we were talking about an A chord being these 4 strings, the open A string, or 5th string, and the open E string, or the 6th string. And if you take the 3rd finger and drop it down to the 7th fret on the 5th string, which is the A, and then follow it with the 4th finger or your little finger underneath of it on the 7th fret, we've got 5 of the 6 strings covered. And then the way I play, not the only way, but the way I play is bring my thumb up over the top. I get that 6th string with my thumb, and I can alternate. And it's important to remember what I was telling you last time about on the 1st string. When it's open, it's an E, and then it becomes an F, it becomes a F sharp, a G, it becomes a A flat, an A, and so forth. And hopefully you have learned that. If you take this A, this structure, you can move it anywhere on the neck, and you can play nearly all the chords you need for any song with this position right here, okay? I got all the strings covered. Now you can also do it with a bar chord. You can do it like this. But to me it's easier like this, and later on when we learn some other things you'll see why I prefer this pattern. If you move it up here, you're playing a C. If you move it here, you're playing a B flat or an A sharp. If you play it here, you're playing a G. If you play it here, what are you playing? F. Whatever this 1st string, whatever notes covered on this 1st string, with this pattern, that's the chord that you're playing. It's a 6-string full chord. Okay? Now I don't have a cutaway, so I can't get up a whole lot higher, but this would be a D position here, and then a D flat and so forth. Whatever fret you're on here with this bottom finger, that's the chord that you're playing, okay? Okay, now let me show you a couple more things. I want to show you what's called double stops. D-O-U-B-L-E, double like two, stops, S-T-O-P, like a stop sign. In the key of A, we're still going to be in the key of A. And listen, one reason that I'm sticking in the key of A, going through all these exercises, if you learn to do these things in A, you can pretty well do these things in any other key, and I'm going to show you how to do that. It's called transposition. And once you learn how to do these things in one place, you can do them in other places. And of course, you'll have to know how. If you're going to be a guitar player, you'll have to know how to do that. But anyway, if you come up here to the, how many fret? We're on the 5th fret, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th fret. And cover it with your first finger. And then use your second finger on the 10th fret. That is a double stop for A. Same note, an octave difference. That is an A double stop A. Now, the first string's not going to tell you what the double stop is. There's going to be other things you need to know for that, and I don't want to go into that this time. But the double stop for A is up here. Now, if you want to make a chord, it takes 3 notes to make a chord. If you play this D that we learned down here, up here, we've got an A. Hit the A. Now you can't hit this 4th string, the open string, or you're going to get what? You're going to get discord. So you'd go. Okay, you got the idea? But really, the double stop's what I'm trying to show you, because with double stops you can play such pretty melodies. There's a nice little melody for you in A. Start up here. Now come back one step to the 7th fret with your first finger, to the 9th fret with your second finger. That's an E. Okay. Neither one of those notes are an E, and that's why I was telling you it's too complicated for now. And then you come back another step. First finger on the 5th fret, second finger on the 7th fret. That's your D, and then come back to the 4th fret with your first, the 5th fret with your second, you're in E. And if you go back another step, you're in D. And then open will be E again, okay? So you go. So it'd be starting to play melody with things you already know. You know how to make this A 2, 3, 4 different ways. Okay, that's a double stop. Very important. You're going to use it the rest of your life. You learn how to play double stops. Pretty? Okay, now double stop's not just on the first 2 strings. You can come down here on the 2nd and the 3rd string, the B and the G string. Same pattern. You got the first finger on the 5th, the 2nd finger on the 6th. Now drop back 1 position and hit these 2 strings with, I use the 2nd and the 3rd finger. That's E, and if you go back another step, that becomes D, okay? So it would be A, E, and then D, and back to A, from the double step. got something that sounds like a little bit of a Spanish song, doesn't it? If you want to go back one step from here, another A, okay, and then see how much you can do with double steps. They're wonderful. I use them all over the place. You're not limited to the first 2 strings or the second 2. I use a double step for an A7. Use it all the time. And what it is the 3rd string or the G string with the 3rd finger on the 6th fret and the 2nd finger on the 5th fret. And that's an A, to me it's an A7. And notice too, I'm not using my pick this time, I'm using my fingers. If you grow out your fingernails, especially these first 2, for me, this has been the only 2 I've ever been able to use real well. But I use this first finger as a pick, a lot of times like on the Johnny Be Good. And what I do, I just put my thumb on the back of my finger, and I use it just like I'm holding a pick. And I don't have to worry about dropping a pick or breaking a pick or not bringing a pick to the gig when I go. So that's pretty complicated. I'm going to stop there today to make sure I don't run over. Good luck with that, and I'll be back again soon, and we'll move on away from A and try some new things next time. So work on your double stops, see if you can get them down, learn to do that A all over the neck. If you can play that sucker anywhere on the neck, you're going to be ready to go with chords, and we'll learn some more. So thank you. Happy New Year. If you got a new guitar, take care of it.